This is the new BMW M135. It has more power, more style, and more M-ness than a normal 1 Series, but it costs more money. Upgrades over the standard 1 Series. So you have these horizontal slats in the grille. Obviously, there's your M badging there. You also have a more aggressive lower front bumper as well. Moving down the side, you have unique alloy wheel design starting at 18s, which is what these are, but you can get optional 19s. These painted brake calipers are actually an option, and you can get them on the standard car. It's not unique to the M135. You also have these semi-fistable door mirrors, which are gloss black. Then there's the M badging on the side here, and then you have gloss black side skirts here. As we go to the back, you have more pronounced roof spoiler there. You have a redesigned lower rear bumper as well with a fake diffuser, but I tell you what's not fake. Get the car's stick of truth. Look, quad tailpipes, all 100% genuine. Lovely jubbly. They actually look really good. And I like the exhaust design as well. Reminds me of the old M2. See what I mean? Anyway, let's check out the inside. The interior changes on this car are kind of dependent on whether you go for some options or not. And it's all a bit confusing, right? So, as standard, the M135 has a sports steering wheel, it has sport seats, and it has like the M3 colours in the dash. There's also M kick plates and the M LED lighting. Now, you can get all those features as an option on the standard 120 as part of the M Sport pack. However, this has the M Package Pro, which includes some upgraded features you can only get on this car, such as the M Sport steering wheel with the red centre marker, and you've got the tricolour stitching. You can get the tricolour stitching on the seat belts. You have these kind of more snazzy gear selectors, and you get these M Sport seats, which are even more body hugging, and they have the all-important little M illuminated logo there as well. Confused? I am. Anyway, the rest of it is just like a normal 1 Series, so you get the same infotainment system, which has pretty sharp graphics. It's responsive, but it's confusing because there's just like so many different options and tiles and blah, 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 blah. And most of it has to be operated through the screen, so climate control is through the screen. If you want to change some things like the lights, like the main beam dipped, you have to press a button on here, then operate it through the screen. Oh, look at that. At least the graphic on the screen is of the M135 with the quad tailpipes. Oh, that's quite nice. Slick. Moving on to the digital driver's display, it's got nice clear graphics, you can customise the look of it, and it has some bespoke M accents on it as well, and the M logo. Nice. Anyway, let's check out the back seat, see if there's anything different there compared to the standard car. Here in the back, there's some more M-ness. Look, we've got the tricolour on the seat belts, even in the rear. And you probably notice this car has red inserts on the seats. You can actually get that on the standard car. It's optional here and on the standard 120 as well. Just like the normal car, headroom. It's okay for me, but people over 6 foot will struggle a little bit for headroom, and they might find the room a little bit tight. It is not the most spacious hot hatch. In fact, a Honda Civic Type R is a lot more roomy in the back seats. If you want to see my full in-depth video review of that car, click on the pop-out banner there or scan the QR code on screen now. The M135 has a 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine with 300 horsepower and 400 newton meters of torque, and it drives all 4 wheels via a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic gearbox. The previous M135i had an 8-speed torque converter also, so it's good that this has a dual-clutcher. 0-60 is supposed to take 4.9 seconds, but what will it do in reality? Now, it's a bit damp, that might affect things, but let's do it anyway. Got my specialist timing gear here. I'm in launch control mode, so left on the brake, floor the throttle, build some boost, and release the brake. Feels pretty good. What are we going to do? 4.6, so quicker than they say. I'm going to push on to the quarter mile. 13.29. I'm going to round that up to 13.3. It's all right. Actually, do you want to see what the old car could do? Click up there on the pop-out banner, right? Or scan the QR code on screen now, and you'll see the quarter mile time for the old M135 with an eye. Have things got better or worse? The boot is nowhere near as big as the Honda Civic Type R's either, look. But you do have hands-free opening. You don't. Oh, you do. It's just likes you to step away so you don't get whacked by the tailgate. Anyhow, yeah, so at least it's a decent square shape, so it's easy to pack, and for an extra £175, you can get 3-way folding seats. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, you have to walk around to fold it down. Oh, I've locked the car, haven't I? Come on, it's there. Suppose I could have done a reach around. Anyway, that brings me on to 5 annoying things about this car. This new car isn't called the M135i, it's called the M135. But by losing the i, it's lost some power and torque. So you've got 6 less horsepower than it used to have. You have 50 less newton meters of torque. Yeah, the whole thing weighs 100 kilos more. That means that this new car has a lower power-to-weight ratio than the previous M135i. And if we go back in time to the old rear-drive 135i, that had a better power-to-weight ratio as well. Here's a table which shows the difference. This car starts at £43,000, which is quite a lot of money. It doesn't get adaptive cruise control as standard. In fact, it doesn't come with that much as standard. This car with all the options, nice things like this sunroof, £55,000. It's a lot of money. And for £55,000, you'd want a car with slightly better interior quality. Bits like this, really cheap feeling. Bits like indicator stops as well, really clicky and plasticky. Not great. The previous M135i was available with adaptive dampers as an option. They're really good because you could alter the stiffness of the suspension at the press of a button. This car isn't available with them at all. Now, BMW in its marketing literature does say it's got adaptive dampers, but they're not proper adaptive dampers. They just adapt to the road surface themselves in a passive way that isn't really adaptive. It's just marketing nonsense. Changing drive mode in this car is a bit of a faff, so you have to take your eyes off the road to look down there to see my modes, and it brings up this. Then you have to swipe across the screen like that to choose these modes. There's only one you want, and it's sport really, so maybe you don't even bother pressing that because the others are just a nonsense. Oh, I've got to go back in and press that. They're personal, efficient, expressive, relaxed, digital art, and silent. What was that doing? Looks like it was going to change the sunroof. Digital. What a load of bollocks. Can I just toggle through the modes by pressing this button? No, it just toggles me backwards and forwards. Anyway, super distracting when you try and do that while driving, but there's no point, like I said, because the modes are just... What a joke. Oh, no, it's doing it. Ow. Oh. I can't, look, I'm trying to illustrate this, right, about how the sunroof shuts slightly when you press the relax button, right? And what I did when I was going through the modes was press relax and I went to digital art quicker and it stopped it doing its thing of shutting, but I can't make it do it again. And I can't actually just operate the mode button quickly, like that. So imagine trying to do this when you're driving. Ah! It's not good! While this car comes with a sports exhaust, it doesn't actually sound that sporty. Go on, rev it. Wait a minute, I can hear some kind of like distant popping and banging sounds, but I think it's fake and it's being produced by the speakers inside the car. So I'm just going to jump in now and see if you can hear the noise now from my mic when I'm sat inside the car. You didn't hear it then? Did you hear the pops and bangs then? Fake noise. That's a fake noise. Also, we have an annoying soft limiter. Terrible. It's not all negative though. Here's 5 good things about this car. If you're changing your car, then you've got to check out Car Wow. Because there's nothing quite like knowing that you're getting a great price, both in selling your old car and finding a new one. Car Wow makes all the stuff that's hard work about car changing. Like the haggling, the no-shows, and the nasty surprises, a thing of the past, life-changing. Now, if you want to go to Car Wow right now, I'll put a link in the description of this video and the pinned comment. Alternatively, you can click on the pop-out banner ping in the top right-hand corner of the screen now, or scan the QR code on the screen using your mobile phone to go directly there. Car change, Car Wow. Because the M135 doesn't have the mild hybrid system of the standard 120, you have a bit more boot space because there's not batteries and stuff underneath this false floor. You've got 380 litres of space in total compared to just 300 litres on a normal car. If you really want to make this car handle as well as it can do, you need to go for the M Dynamic Pack. So it may cost £3,000, but you do get a lot with it. So you get a rated slightly stiffer suspension, you get extra body bracing to make the chassis stiffer. There's also compound brakes for better stopping power, lightweight forged alloy wheels with grippier tyres, and some other measures which reduce the weight of the car slightly. There's plenty of choices for customising the car just as you want it. So there's a choice of 10 different exterior colours, including this lovely frozen silver that just costs an extra £2,000. There's 4 different interior trims and 5 different alloy wheel designs. Now, if I do maths, that works out to 180 different combinations. There's a mechanical limited slip differential on the front axle, which will send power to the wheel with the most grip. The M135 chassis over the standard car to make it sportier to drive. So you have stiffer springs and dampers, so a sportier suspension setup, uprated anti-roll bars at the front and the rear. The ride height is lowered by 8mm, and you also get some M performance brakes as well for better stopping power. Let's check those out. 900 brake test from 60 miles an hour. Go and see how long it takes this car to stop. Anything around like 33, 34 metres is good, especially in the wet. Let's find out for sure what it's going to do. These brakes hard now. Oh, maybe it's doing its job there. What did it do? 37 metres. It is wet. I'll accept that. Anyway, let's take this thing for a proper drive to see if it's any fun. Now, if you're after a BMW hot hatch that looks pretty snazzy on the outside, it's got a sporty feeling interior, and it has strong performance, yeah, well, nice car, you know, goes around corners competently, decent amount of grip. However, if you're after a hot hatch that really exhilarates you and just feels connected to you in the way that it drives, like you are part of the machine, absolutely forget about this car. Forget about it. You see, I've just driven a VW Golf R, and there is no way I'd have this over that. No way. You just feel isolated from this thing. The steering, the chassis, it doesn't really talk to you. The brake pedal, it's squidgy. The gear shifts are a little bit on the slow side. The noise that you get from the engine, which is played through the speakers actually, just is meh. The engine itself, while it's strong, it doesn't really rip to the red line, so you don't feel like you want to rev it out. The suspension, you know, it's firm, which gives it a sense of sportiness, but also it prevents it from being really connected to the road. I have no desire to drive this car quickly. which is kind of the point. And it begs the question, why even bother to have this car then? You may as well just have like the 120, why not? It's pretty much similar to drive, just a little bit slower and a whole lot cheaper. I'm actually quite disappointed with this. Yeah, I know the 120 is front-wheel drive and this is four-wheel drive, but most of the time it just feels front-wheel drive, to tell you the truth. You don't feel it really pushing you from the rear axle much when you accelerate out of a bend. It's not as fun as it should be. I reckon it's just for people who want a top-of-the-range 1 Series that can go pretty quickly, should you need it to. But that's an awful lot of money to be spending when it's not going to give you the thrills that some other hot hatches will. In fact, if you want to see my full in-depth video review of the Volkswagen Golf R, which will give you thrills, click on the pop-out banner up there or scan the QR code on screen now. And for those who say that Matt Watson is a BMW fanboy, I'm not a fanboy of this car. Okay, I'm probably giving it a bit of a bashing. It's not terrible, but if you're into driving like I am, and you're after a hot hatch that is fun, nah. While I might not be the biggest fan of this car in terms of driving fun, for just cruising about in it is reasonably nice. But apart from the suspension, it's a touch on the firmish side. It's not terrible, but it is a bit fun. In terms of wind noise, it's okay. In terms of tyre noise, it's not bad. In terms of efficiency, well, I'll be giving it a bit of a thrashing, and we're at 29.1, so I think you'll get over 30 mpg if you're careful. I don't know, though, why you need the M135i, apart from the fact that you can do this. So I'm going to floor it for 40 miles an hour. 3, 2, 1, go. Slight delay on the gearbox, but now it's going. Whoa. And it does take off. So that is the benefit of the M135. And you know, to some people, that's all they want. They want a nice BMW that looks expensive, it's got the right brand, and when you put your foot down, it flies like a BMW should. And it does that, it delivers on that. And it's fine to live with. In fact, my partner Jo, she really liked this car. She likes it a lot more than I do. She preferred it in the Golf R. She's not wrong, it's her opinion. But I think she pretty much liked the 120i as much as this, because of the price differential. This is a review about the M135, and I've spoken more about the 120. One thing you can't get in the 120 though are these lovely